Whether you're planning your first trip or your 10th, this is your complete guide to every monument in Rome you absolutely cannot miss. The Colosseum. We start here because there is nowhere else to start. The Colosseum is the most recognizable building on Earth, and the second you see it in person, you understand why. The Romans staged gladiator fights here, wild animal hunts. They shipped lions, elephants, and hippos to Rome for these events. Book your tickets online, budget 3 hours, and know that your ticket also includes the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill right next door. The Roman Forum was the downtown of the ancient world. For almost 1,000 years, this was where laws were passed, where Caesar's body was burned after his assassination, where generals celebrated military victories, walk uphill from the Forum to Palatine Hill, and where Rome was founded in 753 BC. This place is best to visit with a guide because, with context, it is one of the most powerful historical experiences available anywhere. Just above the Forum sits Capitoline Hill, redesigned by Michelangelo in the 16th century. This was the political heart of ancient Rome. The square itself is a Renaissance masterpiece. At its center stands the statue of Marcus Aurelius, the only surviving bronze equestrian statue of a Roman emperor. Vatican museums and the Sistine Chapel. The Vatican museums are where you need to put the most planning ahead. The museums hold over 70,000 works of art collected by popes over 5 centuries. The Gallery of Maps alone has 40 painted topographical maps of Italy covering 120 meters of corridor ceiling. There are Egyptian artifacts, Greek sculptures, Raphael's rooms, tapestries, and more. It goes on. And then it ends in the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo painted the ceiling over 4 years. He stood on a curved scaffold with his neck bent upward for years. Book your tickets weeks in advance. A guided tour is worth every euro as the context transforms what you're looking at, from painted ceilings to one of the most loaded rooms in Western history. Block out at least half a day. St. Peter's Basilica is the largest church in the world, and entry is free. The nave is 186 meters long. Michelangelo's dome rises 136 meters above the floor. What you're looking for immediately when you enter is the Pietà. Michelangelo carved it when he was 24 years old. Mary holding the body of Christ after the crucifixion. The security line can be long, and dress code is enforced, so remember to cover shoulders and knees. The Pantheon might be the most impressive building you will ever stand inside, and I'm saying that having just told you about the Sistine Chapel and St. Peter's, the Pantheon was built by Emperor Hadrian as a temple to all the gods of Rome. The interior is a perfect sphere. The dome is exactly as wide as it is tall, 43.3 meters in both directions. There is no steel reinforcement, no modern engineering, just Roman concrete poured in graduated layers, and it has stood completely intact for nearly 2,000 years. You know the Trevi Fountain, you've seen it on every travel mood board and poster, and it is somehow, despite all of that, still genuinely stunning in person. It's the largest Baroque fountain in the world, nearly 26 meters high. One coin thrown over your left shoulder with your right hand, and you'll supposedly return to Rome. Borghese Gallery is a heaven for art lovers. The collection here includes Caravaggio, Raphael, and Titian. But the reason you're here is Bernini, Apollo and Daphne, Pluto, and Proserpina. These are sculptures carved from solid marble. Pluto's hand gripping Proserpina's thigh is one of the most reproduced images of Baroque sculpture in the world. Be aware that the gallery limits entry to strict 2-hour timed slots, so it's better to book weeks in advance. If you're an art person, this is the best museum experience in Rome. We need to talk about the park it sits inside. 80 hectares of umbrella pines, fountains, terraced gardens, and gravel paths sitting right in the middle of Rome. This is where Romans actually relax. From the Pincian Terrace above Piazza del Popolo, you get one of the most beautiful sunset views in the city. After days of sightseeing, this is where you can relax. Castel Sant'Angelo started as a mausoleum. Emperor Hadrian built it as his personal tomb. Then it became a medieval fortress, then a papal castle, then a prison. The rooftop is why I'm telling you to go. 360 degrees, the Vatican dome to your left, the Tiber curving below, the historic center spreading out in every direction. It's one of the best views in Rome, and nobody's queuing for it the way they queue for the obvious viewpoints. The Spanish Steps, 135 steps connecting the church above to Piazza di Spagna below. At the base sits the Borghese Fountain, shaped like a sinking boat, designed that way because the aqueduct feeding it didn't have enough pressure for dramatic water jets. A limitation turned into elegance. Piazza Navona, built directly on top of an ancient Roman stadium, which is why the square is oval. At its center stands Bernini's Fountain of the Four Rivers, the Nile, the Ganges, the Danube, and the Rio de la Plata. Its Baroque urban design at its peak, sculpture, water, architecture, all choreographed into one space. Altar of the Fatherland, the Vittoriano, massive white marble built to honor Victor Emmanuel II, the first king of unified Italy. It's bold, bright, impossible to ignore, but the terrace at the top offers one of the best panoramic views in Rome. The Colosseum, the Forum, St. Peter's Dome in the distance, the entire historic center laid out beneath you. If this helped you plan your trip, share it with whoever you're traveling with or whoever you're still convincing. Booking links and planning resources are in the description. If you want a complete guide to the churches in Rome you absolutely shouldn't miss, tell us in the comments. There are masterpieces hiding behind the simplest doors. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.